All right. Hey guys. So we are here on our third Discover Australia training call. These have been about 20 minutes. The first one we kind of talked about, what do we want to get out of this opportunity? How do we align ourselves with that and all of those great things? The second one was more tactical. We went over some language. We went over different ways to find people in that market, if you will. So we did a lot of more of the tactical stuff, the deep digging, and help generate some ideas on how do I do this, right? So this third call is going to be short and sweet. Please ask questions if you have them, but this is really more about how do we maintain that relationship. So let's say you've been talking to somebody, you did all the things last week, you've got a prospect for Zaya, whether it's a customer or somebody who's looking at the business opportunity. How do we maintain that relationship until we kick off at whatever day that's going to be? So let's start. So your offer and what you're working on the plan. How do we maintain until launch? So there's been a couple of things that I actually had a conversation with Zach the other day. He did a call with somebody that I've been talking to. It's a guy from Australia, and it was a really, really cool call. It was a lot of what he's already shared, nothing new or no insider information, but it was cool to see the prospect from Australia kind of react to that and understand, this company is legit. Like, we're putting a name with a face. Like, we actually met in person in Appleton because he's flying back to Australia soon. But it was just a really cool opportunity for him to, even if we didn't meet in person, jump on Zoom and see me and see Zach. And he was like, wow, how cool that this company is, doing phone calls with their leadership team. And it just provided, I think for him, what he said was it really took away a lot of the concerns or fear that he had of okay, Leah's been great, but how legit is this? It confirmed everything, right? Like when you get that information from the president of the company, it just helps. So we're going to be setting up a Discover call with Zach, and he just has to confirm back to me when he can do it within the next week. So we're going to get that on the calendar, but that's a way that you can get somebody really just kind of connected to the opportunity until we launch. So when we launch, we're going to find out 2 weeks prior. So my advice and things that I've been doing, like Kayla has, is after you kind of have that relationship, add them to your VIP page. When you post new releases, tag them and be like, hey, Sam, this is just an example of our Wednesday new releases. It's going to be we're going to have new releases in Australia too, obviously seasonally appropriate, but this is an example. So not overwhelming, not bombarding, but just giving them little tidbits that they can be like, oh, that's kind of cool. So they can sort of learn along the way. And you're not just having a conversation and then having no conversation until the launch date, because that's going to get people probably, you may lose some of that relationship in that time. So just little things to keep them encouraged, to keep them excited. So I would do that, add them to your VIP page, tag them in certain posts, and obviously not 10 times a day, not overwhelming. We're going to set up a Discover Zaya Australia VIP or a Discover group, actually, where people can put prospects into that group. And that's going to be done by the end of the weekend. So in that Discover Zaya page, what you can expect to see is just a live video kind of welcoming people, briefly talking about the opportunity, but then we're also going to share fun posts, and they're all going to be clean. They're going to be branded. They're all going to flow together of just basic stuff. Like, here is a, if we post a starter kit, you can expect something very similar to this. I'll probably take the price out just because we're not exactly sure how that's going to translate yet. So basically, the taxes are a little bit different there. It's called GST, and depending on where you live, it can be a different percentage. And sometimes the GST is actually built into the price of the item, so it doesn't look like you're paying tax, but it's already built in. So those are some of the things that are being figured out on the back end, and they're very, very close to figuring those things out. And they probably have most of that already done, but we can share things like that. We can share our growth in the US. We can share the growth trajectory sheet that's in the back office and say, this is our example of what happened in the United States. We can share when we launched into Canada. So I'll probably have 10 posts or so in there, and then 1 or 2, 3 people probably like 3, 4, 5, sharing their story in a brief 5 to 7 minute video. So if any of you guys want to do one, please feel free to reach out. But just really a place, we used to have these Discover Zaya groups. I think there's still some existing, but this is going to be specifically for any Australian prospects. And then they can reach out. So right, Kayla's talking to someone, and if that person's like, well, I want to get going, and like I'm familiar with the industry and I want to start connecting with people and building a team and building business partners, she can add people into that page, right? So we just want a landing spot for people. So that'll be, in addition to adding people to your VIP page, inviting them to a call. Like, feel free to invite them to a training call if there's one going on, just to kind of get them involved. You can also, in addition to those things, put them in this Discover Zaya group. This week, you guys, why don't you put in the comments, actually, I don't know what night seems to be best. I don't know if it's Mondays, or if it's Thursdays, or if it's Saturday mornings, but I do want to do a Discover Zaya call. So if you have current prospects, you could just say, hey, this call is being run. It'll be about 17 minutes. It'll just kind of go in another overview of Zaya, the background of the company, our products, the quality, how we work, and then really how we get paid. So I'm still going to be able to share with people, even though they're in Australia, what that comp plan looks like. It's still going to be relative. It's going to be comparable, right, to the 20% commission, 8% override, and then earning, as you build a team, earning commissions and earning residual income for your mentorship. So we can still go through basically exactly what that Discover Zaya in the US is. I know that time change is hard to figure out. So I think it's anywhere from 13 to 15 hours. So the guy that I was with yesterday is from Brisbane, and he thought it was 15 hours. So I'm thinking, so like it's 8 a.m. here, it's 8 p.m. there. So it might be like a 6 a.m., Central Time, which would be, oh, Kayla, that's so different for you. Just wait till you get to Texas. But like a 6 a.m. Central would be 6 p.m., 7, would be, probably on average 8 p.m. there. Or the other thing we could do is we could do like a Friday night at 5, and then it would be like 9 a.m. on Saturday for them. What do you guys think? Do you think a weeknight call or a Saturday morning? This first one, maybe we could try a Saturday morning, simply because then it'll give people a week to kind of get in there, right? Like to get their prospects in there, and we could kind of build it up and build some excitement around it. So we could do that Zoom call then, but I'll get that information out to you guys. But again, the purpose of this training call, we don't have to figure out details right now. I'll follow up, but the purpose of the training call is just to really understand what opportunities are coming up. Where can we put these people? How can we keep them engaged? So the Discover Zaya group, that's an ongoing Facebook group. I'll have that completed by the end of the weekend. I'll put the link in the Grow and Celebrate page, and anybody can use it. You can act as though it is yours, and share information with people that way. If you're talking to people on Instagram, highly recommend you get them onto Facebook if possible. Hey, like, I just thought of something, grab your phone, voice message. Hey, I just thought of something. We've got this really cool group on Facebook that gives a lot of information about the opportunity. I'd love to put you in there. When you have time, you can just kind of check it out. Then your friends on Facebook, right? And now you're seeing their family posts and vice versa. And you're getting to know each other on a deeper level. So whenever I'm talking to somebody, I always try to get their connection on 2 levels, whether it's Instagram and phone number, or Instagram and Facebook, or Facebook and phone number, email and phone number. I always like to have a double, really double like road of communication, just because I think that again makes it more real, and it's just a more commitment, right? When they say yes, when they get into that pattern of saying yes, I think that's helpful as well. Yeah, here's my phone number. Yeah, here's my Facebook name. Let's connect on there. So we'll have that Discover Zaya group that you can put people in. We're going to have that Zoom call coming up. And again, I would like to get Zach on one of those. And I think what I'll probably do is that first Zoom Discover call that we do, that Zach is on, I'll record it, Kayla. And then, yeah, for sure, we can post that recording into that group. 100%. We can put that into the VIP group and say, hey, this is like specific for this team. Like our president jumped on to talk with you guys, but we can go ahead and put the recording in the VIP group. And that's another place then that you can put people and tag them into that call. Zoom calls might be kind of hard, right? Like right now, we're just trying to figure out how to build a relationship with people, and how to keep them committed and how to keep them interested, not committed, interested, because, you know, they have to go through this process to understand if it's a mutual fit. And then the other thing to note is that when it launches, kits are going to be the same, not the same necessarily like in product, but the same exact like setup. The business itself, the structure of the business, the comp plan, the new release Wednesday, all of that is going to be very, very comparable. When it's time to enroll, what's going to happen is we'll get the date again 2 weeks ahead of time. And so if you've got somebody who's like, yep, let me know when we launch, I want to enroll. And I've got, you know, 2 people who also want to enroll with me, and one of them has 1, right? Let's just say that's the case. When that happens, when that link goes live, like again, Kayla, I'm just using you because I know you're talking with people. If Kayla's prospect who's ready and wants to do this, the link goes live, Kayla's prospect is going to go in, she's going to enroll, she's going to call the person, the 2 people that she's been talking to after that, or text them and say, hey, I'm enrolled, here's my link, you guys can go ahead and enroll as well. So it's a little bit different because none of us started at the very beginning with Zaya, so none of us had ever done that, but it's basically like you could have a senior rep or a director team or more put into place before, you know, the day of launch, really. Like, now granted, they have to do all the sales and stuff, but you could have a team in place prior to like your second day in the business. Does that make sense? So that's a really cool part of it. That's going to kind of be how it works. So nobody's going to be enrolling the first, you know, before other people, or, you know, directors, people first, nothing like that. It's literally going live at the same time. And then it's going to be that process of just enrolling. If they have team members, they're going to send their link to them, and so on and so forth. Okay, so does that make sense, you guys? Do you feel like there's anything that we're missing? The other thing that you can do is have them look at the catalog. Have them look at the catalog and be like, hey, if you want to try this prior, I can order it and get it to my house and ship it there for you. It's going to be a little bit expensive, but if they want to get the clothes, like if you've got somebody who is super interested in the clothes, I think that you could do that, right? Like have them pick out a leggings and a sports bra, and they can even pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. I'm not insinuating that, certainly, but you can ship it there for them. And if they're looking just as a customer, they're going to be the first people to have it. If it's somebody who's looking to build a business, they can go on to their Facebook and say, hey, coming soon. And they can take a picture in their Zaya, which is pretty cool that they would be some of the first people to be wearing it. So, okay. Oh, genius. Gosh, I don't even think I brushed my teeth yet this morning. You guys are getting the best of me right now. You guys are so, why aren't we all doing this over like coffee and bloodies somewhere together at like one of your beach houses, Jill? Could we do that? Okay. So as follow-ups, just as a commitment to you guys, those are some things that you can expect by the end of the weekend. One, we'll have that Discover Zaya group. I have it started, just not officially like published yet, because I just want to make sure I have the graphics ready to go. And I'll probably have most of the graphics already in there, but it might only be like 10 posts because I don't want people to be scrolling and feel overwhelmed. I think it's already a lot for people to take in. And then the Zoom call, we'll see if next Friday night, maybe, if that works for Zach. And you know, even if it becomes difficult with time, I think if we can get enough of us on it, like nobody's going to know, right? So if we can get enough of our team on the call, and then we can share that with other people, I think that would be helpful. So the Zoom call, the Discover, and then we'll put that in there. Okay, You guys, that's kind of it. I just wanted to touch base because I know you guys are all working on this, and I know you're working the plan and you're doing it. So I just want to make sure that you guys have enough resources. If you feel like you see other people doing things, or if you have a really great idea and you want to share it, please do. Or if you feel like you need more like support in a certain area, reach out and let me know. But those are the things that you can expect from me, and I'll have those done. Like I said, at least the Discover Zaya group will be done and published and ready to be shared by the end of the weekend. So, all right, that's all I got, guys. Have a great weekend. And if you need anything, I'm available all weekend. Just shoot me a text or a Facebook message or grab my number and we can go from there. But that's it. Okay, bye guys. Thank you guys for showing up.